When you make an offer, it's all about what the seller will accept. There were 4 bids in this one. The fact that we had the 15-day closing, fully underwritten everything, and from a major institution, seller ended up saying, you got the deal because there was somebody else at the same exact offer, but they wanted 21 days to close. W-F-R-E.
That is our new theme song. Welcome to the latest episode of We Fixed Real Estate, rung in by Fred Glick himself.
Yeah, I wonder if there is a WFRE radio or television station.
Oh.
If not, we'll steal it.
Could be.
Yeah.
So
we
got
need t-shirts, WFRE t-shirts.
For certain. And if you're the lucky
where real
caller,
estate
you can
is
win one.
The truth in real estate. Something like that. We'll come up with, something.
So we do have something new today to offer you, which is the deal of the week. Real life stories about what's really happening out there.
There you go. Okay, so we're going to talk about one of the more popular places, which is San Francisco. Just had a closing there. The closing itself and the deal itself was pretty normal. And what I mean by normal is it was a multiple bid situation for a single family house. Everybody waived everything. But here's the thing, and then I'll work backwards. The buyer says to me, 21 days for closing. And I said to him, no. And I wrote it up with 15 days because that's what his bank can do. He was using, one of the big 5 because they all do it. So, and if you're going to buy, and they got it fully underwritten pre-approval. So they were all set there. All the inspections, disclosures, all that already done. So they'd gotten them. We went through it with AI and just beat the crap out of it, but they were okay with what had to be done. But he kind of threw me, and he was going on, 21 days. It's, I need time. I said, no, it's not about you needing time. It's what the seller will accept. And those are the key things. When you make an offer, it's all about what the seller will accept. Plus, the other thing you don't know is what everybody else is bidding.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 4 bids in this one. And the fact that we had the 15-day closing, fully underwritten everything, and from a major institution in a San Francisco property with an agent who sells a lot. So he understood what we were doing, saying we're putting our best foot forward. And he ended up saying, you got the deal because there was somebody else at the same exact offer, but they wanted 21 days to close. Surprise. This couple that I've been dealing with has been around since March of 2025. We must have gone through probably 15 deals.
Wow.
And they kept, I'm not going that price. And I'm not going that price. And their problem is they probably lost a couple $100,000 in equity. If they would have paid a little more for the first house that they took, they would have been great. But then it's, they had their things. They needed X number of bedrooms, and they needed this, they needed that, and outdoor space and blah, 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 and a garage. And, the thing about buying we'll call it a used house, it's like buying a used car. You're not going to get everything. You're not ordering it from the factory. Some of these houses, in San Francisco from 1906.
Yeah.
You get what you get in them, and you can only retrofit them at certain ways. But the bottom line is it's not what you want. It's what the market is bearing. And you really have to keep that in mind. So, ChatGPT will tell you, offer this. It's still stupid. I'm sorry. Gives you kind of an idea, but, nobody's going to do those things because what it does, it acts very conservatively. And it's just going to tell you what the normal kind of thing is. But, you really have to beat it up. I'm in a super duper ultra competitive market with thousands of buyers and qualified for this. And the answer, the question you should be asking is, what's it going to take for me to get this place? Okay. So start looking at it that way, as opposed to, how cheap you can get it when you're in a competitive market like this. Another thing that we're going to start having, and we haven't finished this because we just got it last weekend, is Claude has gone and is engaged to Slack. I don't think they're married yet, but they're engaged. So we're going to be able to have, and I don't know how it works exactly. We're getting it tested. When you're in a channel, typing at Claude, and ask it to do things. For example, we put in inspections and disclosures into the Slack channel. We hit add Claude and ask it with a prompt to go, check on all these and evaluate them, come up with dollar amounts, et cetera, whatever it is needs to be done. So we're going to have that. That's going to make life easier for everybody. So you don't have to go out and do your own. I mean, you can go and do your own and compare, but Claude's kind of catching up to ChatGPT in terms of the LLM for inspection disclosure stuff, because everybody's now, shifted over to Claude. So it's taken enough time.
Is this something that your clients can use when they're on the individual Slack?
Yeah. Yeah. So, they're going to be able to type
at your Claude. Slack will be AI integrated. That's great.
Yeah.
We'll make you can also give it your own unique AI name. Ask at the verb. I mean, it's Claude, but you can trigger your skill.
We haven't learned that stuff yet. we're 3 days behind. Sorry. Okay. But the idea is that you're going to be able to kind of self-serve yourself once we get the disclosures. Now, the biggest problem, and I'm talking to a couple of people to try to solve it, is when you put in the address of the property you're interested in. Now, how can it be automated to go into the MLS, into the disclosures websites, all that stuff? We're working on it, kids. Hopefully we're going to be the first ones in the United States to have that.
That'd be great.
To try to fully automate this stuff, figure out what to offer, figure out the inspections, get the inspections, all kinds of stuff. Our biggest problem that we can't solve is the fact that the California Association of Realtors and the Northwest MLS and every other either realtor board or MLS controls the forms. And because 99% of the agents are robots, if they see another form come in, we can't accept that. So CAR does not allow you to do anything but go to this certain website, fill in everything, download it, then send it out for signature. It's a nightmare. It's just like 1967 tech, when we could be doing this very simply and have everything prepared and sent out and digital signatured and going to the right places and all. It's not hard, but access is hard, and them allowing us to use it is hard. So unless they're coming up with their own AI way to do this, which would solve so many problems, because most agents are complete idiots when it comes to filling out paperwork. I'm sorry. They miss things. They don't know what they're doing. And not just new agents. These are agents from 30 years ago still filling things out.
I would say it's not just agents, it's the sales mindset. I would not have a salesperson fill out paperwork, if anything, forever, ever.
And here's a really big difference between us and everybody else, and we can add this to everything we do comparing us with other companies. No one at my company is allowed to do any contracts but me, period. This way, we don't have problems with contracts. It's that simple. Whereas, you got a brand new agent, they've done a deal or two, and then the third deal, they write a contract. It's a little complicated. They don't know what they're doing, and they screw it up. They screw up the contract all the time. You should see the junk that I get. I get a contract from someone on a listing we had, like 300,000 under ask. The pre-approval was an email from somebody, no proof of funds. Half the agreement wasn't filled out. It's like, I didn't bother answering. I told my seller about it. He said, she's an idiot. There are plenty, and that's another question you can ask your buyer, broker, agent. Show me a contract that you've filled out. Okay.
attention to
They'll
detail.
be taken back by that. I'm happy to show you. I'll blank out the names, but I'll show you what a real contract looks like.
And there's vanilla contracts, and then there's special circumstances. I guess you'd also want to ask the agent, what do you consider special about my circumstances that need to be in the contract?
There you go. Good question. Good question.
Because you need to know that they know the nuances of that particular sale.
Exactly. You think it's just like, hi, my friendly agent, and we just, agree on a handshake. No, everything's in writing, and it's got to be right. So
good. So you landed the deal of the week, and that was, and especially in competitive markets. So they were with you for about almost a year and a couple months.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, just to add to it, their rebate was about $64,000.
$64,000
on a 2.92 sale price. We couldn't get them to knock down the sale price, so I had to rebate it, which is unfortunate because they could have saved money on their taxes and on their interest. See, we don't really calculate that, but we should. So let's say you're buying a property for $1 million. And the buyer broker fee is $25,000. So if you put 10% down, you're at $900,000 mortgage. But if you put 10% down from $975, it's 8 something, whatever it is. But you're paying less interest. I'm just using this as a basic example. So the less interest you pay, plus the less taxes you pay, is really part of your rebate theoretically.
Yeah.
So it's a different way of calculating.
So the sellers wanted the glory of knowing they got their house at.
I think it was the agent. He was one of these guys who when somebody said, I got the documents and we're ready to close. Oh my God, that's the greatest thing in the world. He'd send an email and happy. It's like, dude, it's a business. Okay, great. This is what's supposed to happen.
Should have sent him a cake.
Whatever, everybody's got their own thing, but
but that's interesting.
What he doesn't know is we're doing a door knocker campaign, door hangers. He's going to get a little embarrassed by what we put out. So pay attention to your door knocker.
Keep an eye on your door.
Yeah, exactly. We have
coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah, we're trying to get more with sellers. We do a great job with sellers. And we just want to get that word out. Most people know us for rebates and buyers, but we also do sales of houses, and we do it beautifully.
A seller will take, the selling agent will take a 3% commission. 3% on a $2.2 million sale is something amount. So it could cost you like 50. You could save $50,000 by selling through a rebate for just $15,000.
Yeah, $15,750. We pay for inspections. We pay for cleaning of the property, all of the photography, drones, 3D, and we make sure we do a floor plan that's got sizes on it because we know what buyers want. And that's really important. Some of these agents is $5 million houses and they don't do a 3D. It's like, because it's a couple $100, it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic.
You set it up for success.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I could be rambling on, but we got more.
Well, you're not rambling, and we're transitioning right to the next thing. Something you've been dying to talk about.
Okay.
It actually ties into home sales and home values if this happens to your land, or if you're buying a house with this on it. Tell us about this new change in Washington.
So if you have a nice piece of land and you want to put a mausoleum, columbarium, I don't even know what that is. Columbarium, columbarium. You can look it up.
Wow.
Columbarium. Yeah. Mausoleum or family burial ground at your house. So remember we're talking at your house. Effective, as I said, June 11th, 2026. And this is in the state of Washington. So This property designation will be subject to various requirements by state agencies, but it's exempt from the Funeral and Cemetery Board oversight. Why does that mean? It allows property owners to make new designations, require updates to the seller disclosure statement provided by real estate brokers. So the bottom line is you got to disclose it.
That's we have really a family burial ground?
That you have a family burial ground. Even if I don't know if this has to go with pets, but because it doesn't say in the thing that I'm reading.
I don't think it's going to do it. I don't think anybody's going to disclose that there are goldfishes in the backyard.
Yeah, or the dogs and cats, I'm thinking more like it. But make sure you now disclose that you have a family burial plot, because that might freak some people out. Like it freaks some people out that somebody died in the house. So I
would say this would be more for houses that have acreage. Like you've got family plot out on the South 40 overlooking the river.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to your townhouse that's got a 400 square foot backyard and you buried, you have a mausoleum back there.
If you're on a ranch.
Yeah, but this is state of Washington. So, there's always a reason for these things. And then we jump over to California. Okay, so new thing here. As you probably already know, the sellers fill out a couple of forms. One's called the seller disclosure and the the TDS and the SBQ. One talks about the property, one talks about the area. You got to disclose everything, but you're now required to give all documents. So if you have that receipt from the plumber in your possession, you got to give that as a disclosure. If you have the receipts or disclosures from the sale when you bought the place, and if they gave you the ones from the previous sale, you got to disclose them all. Just bring it all forward. Give everybody everything. Like, why not? Except if you're trying to hide something.
Well, we'll say I've been in my house for 20 years. I probably don't have a document I had 19 years ago.
If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. But the bottom line is, if you have it, you got to give it. So there's the exempt things. If you don't live in the house and, it's your parents' house, you sold it, you didn't live there for 20 years, different story, it's exempt. But from now on, disclose.
If you have it, show it. And it's only going to help you. I mean, because they're going to find it anyways. Especially if it's something you did like 2 years ago. Like if you redid your sewer with permits 2 years ago, you want to show them all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I worry about the disclosure statements that are filled out, first of all, typed in on the computer and just yes and no's, no comments. Those are the guys who are like, okay, I'm only going to give you the minimum of what is required. I would be leery of that, compared to a seller that gives you like tons of documents. It's like, okay, these people get it and they care and they worry. They're not going to screw you. Whereas, especially a flipped house, minimal as possible. So dig into that home inspection and maybe get your own. And by the way, let's talk about inspections real quick. If you're given an inspection from a seller's agent, that's fine. If you have things that are questions on that report, I always say contact the inspector directly, because he or she's the one who actually did the inspection. Sometimes they will ask for permission from the owner of the report, which is fine. Just let us know. We'll get that permission. But also, especially in Washington State, you can get your own inspection before you even put an offer in. Matter of fact, that's one way that people do it up there. Yes, it's going to cost you money, but you need the peace of mind, especially if it's a hot property and people are waiving the inspection and taking risks. Also, if a sewer video isn't done, do the sewer video. That's quick and easy. Sometimes, most of the time, they don't have to get in the house. They go to the trap and just go from there.
Yep.
So,
that was actually, sewer video was actually the big topic of lunch yesterday. We went out with some friends and my sister, and she didn't get a sewer video. And the day she moved in, the entire house flooded, and it was the sewer
in California.
in California.
Okay, well let me have you tell her there's actually a state law that basically says every homeowner has to kind of know everything about their house. I forget the law. I can check on it and where it is so you can read it deeper. But I've used that where I ran a sewer video after we were under contract and waived all the inspections and disclosures. Did it anyway, came back with that state law to the seller's agent to say, look, you guys are responsible. Even though we waived it because we didn't have the opportunity to do it, it was a multiple bid situation. Everyone was like this, but you violated state law. And you know what? I've gotten them to pay for things. So there's another question for your 2.5% agent who just started. What would you do if a sewer video wasn't done on inspection and you had to waive all the inspections?
Yep. My sister's story turned out all right. So they ended up thinking that they were going to get a $120,000 bill for the sewer going out to the street.
Yeah.
But my other sister, who's an attorney, looked at the contract very closely. Good. And after this sewer scope that they did, it was all tree roots. And in the HOA law, they were supposed to maintaining those trees. And because it was those trees that caused the issue,
excellent,
the HOA was responsible for it.
Got it. So yeah, I was talking mainly single family fee simple, but HOAs, condo associations, bummer dudes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
They're living somewhere else. So they're living somewhere else now, but we were going through homeowner stories. The other issue from the other people we were with, they bought a house and had a little water stain in the garage. It was a new modern house. And that was all the inspection came up with, and they fixed that little thing. But after they moved in, there was another water stain, and it turned out the whole stucco was applied incorrectly, and it turned into a $100,000 deal. But they missed it. So you need to make sure you have your inspections in order.
Correct. Or if you can't get it done, then you'll do what we do, and we'll help you get it done.
Yeah. That's where full service comes in. Fixed fees, full service.
Right. It's things you just don't see, things in my brain that I've done, and you never know. And that's the reason we are who we are.
Well, the other part that comes up from time to time on the podcast is the insurance contingency. If you're in a wildfire area, or if you're in California, you should maybe be very concerned on that.
We tell people do not even submit an offer until you talk to an insurance person, get a price of what it's going to be, what type of insurance, so going in, because you're going to waive the insurance contingency. The way the inspection clauses are in the California agreement, it's basically all that stuff.
Okay.
So that's
figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-approved houses for insurance. It's the only way to go now. We do it for our customers in Washington too. You just never know.
Floods and whatnot. Now, can it be area based? Like if you're looking at this neighborhood, there's 20, 30 houses. I mean, it seems like the whole neighborhood would be under the same insurability.
If you're in Los Gatos, all there are trees. So yeah, you can assume you're going to pay out the wazoo.
Or if you're in the Sunset District in San Francisco, there's probably the same insurance requirements across.
Not as bad because they don't deal with fire that much up there. It's mostly about the fire. The floods are going to be, where the flood plains are, that those maps are already written. But the insurance brokers and direct insurance companies, they can put the address in and they can tell you what it is. Also, you have to check because the house might have had 5 claims in the last 2 years for a whole bunch of different things. And then the insurance company says, I don't want to insure this place. It's, there's something wrong. So
the 5 claims carry forward with the house. It has nothing to do with previous
Here's
owner.
The history. Exactly. So they just might say, nah. So all kinds of crazy stuff out there. You got to be aware of. So insurance is up there with mortgage pre-approval, fully underwritten pre-approval, of course. And, checking the inspections before you submit offers. So 2 words, due diligence.
Yes. That's all very interesting. So we're going into the July 4th weekend, the end of June, heading into summer. Time to prep your house for sale and for the fall, or there might be some deals out there. What other tips can you tell people navigating the July real estate climate?
If they, as buyers, look at the stuff that's been 30, 45, 60 days on the market. The hotter it gets, the lower the price. It's really what it amounts to. There'll be some new stuff that comes on because there always are buyers. But if you're quick and you get to things right away, you're going to have a better chance of getting them under contract if it's that new pretty one. Because people are like, I'm on vacation for the weekend. July 4th, your Redfins or Zillow alerts or your Arrivva alerts. By the way, we have MLS access for consumers in the Seattle area, San Francisco area, the entire Bay Area, the entire Los Angeles area, the San Diego area, and it all drips out into Palm Springs area too. So you can go to arrivva.com and check off properties, is it? One of those.
Check out properties, but you also see we're able to using our wizardry, we can also show you what your estimated rebate might be if you use Arrivva.
You want to bring that up, Drew, and show everybody?
I do. I can do it. You should, bring it up. It's kind of cool because if you're ever wondering, like it really paints the reality of the situation. How much you're going to be paying a realtor in commissions, or how much you'll be getting back by using a free full service fixed fee firm like Arrivva. Or
there you go. Okay. So let me share screen. Okay. So here's the page. It's arrivva.com/property search, or you just click on property search here. And let's go down some new listings. This is generic. This is up in Seattle, I think. But you can see with the first one, here's your rebate. Let me get a bigger one. Let me get something in the $14 million range. You can get $286,000 to $435,000 rebate.
Wow.
I don't know why these houses have zero pictures, but
I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, this is the feed from the MLS.
Click on the 995 or click on somebody and see it.
Here we go. It's Salinas, 840,000. Estimated rebate 7,000 to 16,000, depending on what price you get to it. I'm not sure exactly how we came up with this. Was this based? Do you remember the formula, Drew? Because I don't.
I do. Okay. It's a general. That's a little bit of a CYA because a lot of it has to depend on what you actually buy the house for, and
sure, and what the rebate is. But you're able to ask us a question, schedule a tour, save it. It's not going to be as extensive as Zillow.
So I do, Fred. If you click on how is this calculated, you'll see the math we used.
Okay, a range of 2 to 3%. Okay, we really should put this. So
you should vary it
3%. Yeah, I think we should put it all at 3%, just to get an idea. But estimated Arrivva rebate 2 to 3. Okay, so previous. Here's another one in San Mateo. You get 20 to 36,000 back. So it kind of gives you an idea.
The legal department strongly cautioned us to use 2 to 3% to not make the MLS annoyed.
You got the walk and transit and bike score here, which is nice. Population crap, but education level, marital status, blue versus white. Now define that, please, in this day and age. And type of commute. Median commute to work, well, that completely worthless because everybody goes in different directions. Anyway, you guys get the idea.
Yes. So that's one way to see exactly as you're framing the whole home buying process. Figure out how much you can save
Yeah.
And how much value do you get by having someone that can properly create a contract and properly negotiate and set up deals, even if it's a shorter time frame, is the way that gets the deal done.
Yep. I mean, we get fully underwritten pre-approvals in 48 hours-ish, assuming I got all the correct documentation, and we know we can close in 14 days. So that's generically normal. Excuse me, especially in Northern California. And Amazing. We're bringing that normal everywhere else because you can. So
this has been another episode of We Fix Real Estate.
WFRE. I think you guys got it.